to episode 144 of the 10,000 Trade Show, where we are mastering trading and creating excellence through the deliberate practice and analysis of 10,000 trades. In this episode, we will take a look at how to use moving averages in our trading. Moving averages are nice because they help us identify the trend and they help us get into a trend. So let's go on to the charts and we'll take a look at what type of moving averages work the best and how do we get into a trending move using moving averages. We're looking at how to trade using moving averages. Moving averages help us identify the trend. So the concept behind moving averages is that when the price is trending lower, the moving averages will cross to the downside. So you will see faster moving averages cross the slower moving averages to the downside. Once the crossover happens, that's when we are looking to take a trade. So in this case, I have 4 moving averages. I have 200 EMA, we have 50 EMA, and 13 EMA and 5 EMA. So those are the 4 moving averages I am using. So in this case, we see that the 50 and the 200 moving averages have crossed to the downside already. And now we're looking for a place to enter the trade. So once we see price go and test this previous support and resistance level, we see that the price drops and then the moving averages start to cross to the downside. Once we see that 5 and 13 moving averages cross the 50 moving average to the downside, that's the time to take a trade. So in this case, as the moving averages cross over to the downside and price starts to hold below the moving averages, we will enter the trade right here. We are looking for a short entry because we are looking for price to drop here as the moving averages are crossing to the downside. Our stop will go above the high here and we enter the trade and we stay with the trade for as long as the moving averages are crossed to the downside. Once we see these moving averages coming back and they start to cross to the upside, so here we see that price is moving up now and our moving averages, the 5 and the 13, have crossed over to the upside. So that's when we exit the trade. From entry to exit here, we get 71 pips in the trade. So just to recap here, moving averages are nice to use because they show us where the trend is and they help us identify a place to get into that trend. So the place to get into the moving trend will be when the moving averages cross over. So if you're looking for price to move lower, we are looking for the faster moving averages to cross the slower moving averages to the downside. So in this case, we see that the 250 have already crossed to the downside, which means the price is trending lower, and now we're looking for an entry in there. So once price crosses to the downside, so we need to see the moving averages actually pull back and then cross over because we don't want to take the trade in the bottom here, so we have to wait for a setup. Once we see that the moving averages are crossing to the downside here, our 13 and 5 moving averages have crossed the 50 moving average to the downside. That's the time for us to look for an entry. As the price holds below this moving averages, we enter our trade short. Stop goes above the high here and we stay in the trade for as long as the moving averages are spread out and they are moving lower and the price is moving lower. So once the moving averages cross over to the upside, we see that the 5 crosses the 13 to the upside and we can see prices starting to make higher lows. It's time for us to exit the trade. From entry to exit here, we get 71 pips in the trade or $710 in profit if trading one standard lot. If you'd like to learn more profitable Forex trading strategies like this one, I invite you to visit my course at tradingwithvenus.com/Forex course. In the course, I will show you how to read the candlesticks and different chart patterns. We'll do a deep dive into technical analysis and I will show you how to read the charts properly, what trade setups you're looking for, and how do we trade these setups properly. I will also show you what are the important fundamental things that you need to pay attention to, how the different fundamental factors drive market price. I will also share with you the trading strategies that I personally use that I have found to be the most profitable. We'll also talk about trade management and how to manage your account and manage your risk so that you become a profitable trader. I will also show you tons of examples that you can go and check out so that you are able to see these trades set up in the live markets as well. As a bonus, you will get access to my pivot point indicator. If you have watched any of my videos, you know I really love trading the pivot points, so you will receive that as a special bonus. The price of the course is $497. To sign up for it, please go to tradingwithvenus.com/Forex course. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this trade setup. If you like this episode, please feel free to subscribe to the channel as well as share this with your friends. I'll be back with another great trade setup next time.